getting a feel for every bend and straight of Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit.
Supraman is really opening up the taps now, their first flyer of the session. This is where we start to see what Maserati 250F 12-cylinder has got under the hood.
That's right, Rob. They're shaking off the cobwebs and really starting to push. It's all about finding that sweet spot between speed and control on the circuit.
You know, mate, some folks wonder why these drivers spend so much time in practice. But it's just like prepping a Barbie, you gotta get it right before the big show.
Exactly. Rob, practice makes perfect, and in racing, perfect can be the difference between pole position and the back of the grid.
Mate, sometimes I reckon the pit wall looks like they're controlling a spaceship with all those dials and knobs.
You're not wrong. Each of those adjustments, from brake bias to differential settings, has a profound effect on car behavior. It's like tuning a guitar, but instead of strings, you're tweaking mechanical symphonies to get the car singing just right on the track.
Reinhold Gartner has a best lap time of 2:29.217. Supraman's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 2:19.627. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Pearson is out there, taking it slow and steady on the outlap. This lap is like the calm before the storm, a moment of zen before pushing the limits.
That's right. It's about understanding the track's personality today, a Euro. Each day, each lap can tell a different story, especially at a track like Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit.
Supraman crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 2:19.627. They're getting to grips with Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Pearson is getting to grips with the Maserati 250F 12-cylinder in this practice session. Supraman posted a 2:18.313 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Mate, these drivers aren't just burning rubber for the fun of it. They're chasing the ghost, that perfect lap that's always just out of reach.
Absolutely. Back in my racing days, I used to call it chasing the dragon. It's that feeling when you know there's still a little more in the tank, a fraction of a second to be found.
Ever heard the pit crew chat about wheel camber? Sounds like a dance move, but trust me, it's all car talk.
Haha, yeah, camber is the angle of the wheel relative to the road. A bit of negative camber, where the top of the tire leans inwards, can give more grip in the corners. But too much and you're looking at premature wear on the inside of the tire. It's a balancing act, and each track requires its own setting.
Reinhold Gartner's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 4:27.875. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
And there's Simon Barnes, easing out onto Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit. It's like the first step on a long hike, finding your footing before you hit full stride.
Right, and every racer knows this out lap is precious. It's their first handshake with the track today, feeling out its mood and temperament.
There goes Renault 99 on their first dance with Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit. Every bend, every straight is a chance to learn, to adapt.
Yep, and it's about syncing with the car too, making sure everything's in harmony. It's like tuning an instrument before a big concert.
Alright, Reinhold Gartner has put down a 6:42.338. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that Maserati 250F 12-cylinder.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
Simon Barnes on the outlap, getting a taste of the tarmac. It's like sniffing the cork before a good wine, first impressions matter.
Exactly. They're assessing the grip, the balance, the whole shebang. You can learn a lot in these quiet moments before the throttle really opens up.
Look at Wayne Pearson go, they're really giving it some jandal now. The first flyer is always a bit of a reconnaissance mission, a mix of caution and raw pace.
You bet, Rob. They're mapping out the track, feeling out the grip levels, and getting a sense of how the car's performing today. It's a crucial lap for building confidence.
Supraman posted 2:16.060 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? These practices, mate, they're like a kangaroo finding its best hop. Once you've got it, you're unstoppable.
Couldn't have put it better. Finding the perfect launch is all about repetition and adjustments.
It's all about finding that sweet spot during these sessions. Like tuning a didgeridoo, but way faster.
Haha, and a lot noisier. But you're right. In Indy, we fine tune until it feels just right. Every lap here is a step towards perfection.
Simon Barnes is on the out lap, not just warming up the tyres, but also warming up their instincts, getting the racer's intuition dialed in.
True that. They're getting the feel of the track, the car, the conditions. It's all about setting the stage for what's to come.
There's no mucking around for Wayne Pearson a Euro, straight down to business on this first flyer. They'll be keen to see what times they can clock in early on.
Yeah, and it's not just about speed. It's about rhythm, finding that flow around Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit. Getting into that groove early can set the pace for the whole session.
And off goes Pip, easing into the rhythm of Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit. This lap is like the first sip of your morning coffee, waking up the senses, priming the engines.
Yeah, it's about syncing up with the machine, getting that perfect harmony between driver and car. It's like a prelude to a symphony that's about to unfold on the track.
Renault 99 is rolling out for the first sniff of the track. It's all about feeling the car, the tarmac, and getting the mind in the zone.
Absolutely, Rob. The out lap is like the opening chapter of a book. A Euro sets the tone for the whole story. They'll be checking how the car's responding, getting a real feel for the conditions today at Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit.
Wayne Pearson is on their first practice flying lap. Sunoiler is out there, taking it slow and steady on the out lap. This lap is like the calm before the storm, a moment of zen before pushing the limits.
That's right. It's about understanding the track's personality today. A Euro. Each day, each lap can tell a different story, especially at a track like Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit.
Watch as Reinhold 99 takes it nice and easy on this out lap. It's not just about warming up the tyres, it's about getting into that mental pit lane, tuning into the race mindset.
For sure, Rob. They're calibrating everything a Euro. The brakes, the steering, the throttle response. It's a crucial part of laying down the groundwork for a successful practice session.
Oi, these practices aren't just a walkabout in the park. It's here that races are often won or lost.
Absolutely. Back home in North Carolina, we emphasize the setup. A few tweaks during practice can lead to major gains on race day.
There goes Reinhold 99 on their first dance with Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit. Every bend, every straight is a chance to learn, to adapt.
Yep, and it's about syncing with the car too. Making sure everything's in harmony. It's like tuning an instrument before a big concert.
Wayne Pearson has a best lap time of 2:21.972. Megasaurus 55's on the outlap, getting a taste of the tarmac. It's like sniffing the cork before a good wine. First impressions matter.
Exactly. They're assessing the grip, the balance, the whole shebang. You can learn a lot in these quiet moments before the throttle really opens up.
Reinhold 99 is not hanging about, straight into the thick of it on this first flying lap. They're getting a real taste of the Maserati 250F 12 cylinders capabilities.
Absolutely. It's about understanding the limits early on. You'll see them experimenting with braking points and turn-in speeds, all while keeping an eye on those tire temps.
Reinhold Gartner's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 2:26.997. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Sunoiler is really opening up the taps now, their first flyer of the session. This is where we start to see what Maserati 250F 12 cylinder has got under the hood.
That's right, Rob. They're shaking off the cobwebs and really starting to push. It's all about finding that sweet spot between speed and control on the circuit.
With just 231 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. It's a bit like looking for water in the outback. These drivers are searching for that sweet rhythm, where everything just clicks.
Spot on. It's that elusive flow state. When everything syncs up, the car, the track, the driver, that's when magic happens.
You know, mate, watching these practice sessions, you'd think the driver just jumps in and goes. But there's a heck of a lot more to it. Starting with that aero package, the balance between drag and downforce.
Oh, for sure, you tweak the front wing just a smidge, and you could have a totally different beast on your hands. Depending on the track, they might want more downforce for those tight corners or reduce it for the long straights to maximize speed.
Pip is on the outlap, not just warming up the tires, but also warming up their instincts, getting that racer's intuition dialed in.
True that. They're getting the feel of the track, the car, the conditions. It's all about setting the stage for what's to come.
Reinhold 99 crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 2:26.440. They're getting to grips with Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, wrong. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
And there's Pip, easing out onto Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit. It's like the first step on a long hike, finding your footing before you hit full stride.
Right, and every racer knows this outlap is precious. It's their first handshake with the track today, feeling out its mood and temperament.
Reinhold 99's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 2:29.081. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Wayne Pearson has a best lap time of 2:21.972. Sunoiler posted 2:17.702 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? You ever think about what's ticking inside a driver's noggin during these laps?
All the time. It's a mix of analyzing, strategizing, and adapting. Every corner, every straight is a puzzle, and they're trying to solve it at full speed.
Hey Hal, you reckon these drivers ever get tired of going round and round during practice?
Well, Rob, repetition is the key. Every lap gives you data, insights, and an edge over the competition.
There's Richard Rossier, gently nudging the beast as they head out. The out lap is where you whisper to the car, "Let's dance," before the real party starts.
You got that right. It's a gentle waltz before the full-on rock concert of the race. They're testing the waters, getting a feel for every bend and straight of Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit.
jackmteam is in circus hairpin. Look at Pip go, they're really giving it some jandle now. The first flyer is always a bit of a reconnaissance mission, a mix of caution and raw pace.
You bet, Rob. They're mapping out the track, feeling out the grip levels, and getting a sense of how the car's performing today. It's a crucial lap for building confidence.
And away goes jackmteam, charging down turn 12 like a bull at a gate. This lap's where they set the tone for the session.
Indeed, Rob. It's about laying down a marker, seeing how the car responds when they dial everything up to 11. They're testing the waters, but also setting their own benchmarks.
There's the first flying lap for Supraman, hitting 21.127. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Alright, Joerg U has put down a 4:20.952. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that Maserati 250 F12 cylinder.
For sure, Rob. It's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
So, for those tuning in and wondering what's the go with these practice sessions, well, it ain't just about flexing their engines. It's about synergy, mate. Getting the driver, the car, and the track to sing in harmony.
Couldn't have put it better. We liken it to rehearsing a dance. Every step, every turn must be practiced until it's second nature on the big stage.
You know, mate, some folks wonder why these drivers spend so much time in practice. But it's just like prepping a barbie, you gotta get it right before the big show.
Exactly. Rob, practice makes perfect, and in racing, perfect can be the difference between pole position and the back of the grid.
Reinhold Gartner's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 2:26.898. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Puppy Dog from Hell is rolling out for the first sniff of the track. It's all about feeling the car, the tarmac, and getting the mind in the zone.
Absolutely, Rob. The out lap is like the opening chapter of the book in Euro, sets the tone for the whole story. They'll be checking how the car's responding, getting a real feel for the conditions today at Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit.
With just 218 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Supraman's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 2:32.625. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Watch as EddieG takes it nice and easy on this out lap. It's not just about warming up the tyres, it's about getting into that mental pit lane, tuning into the race mindset.
For sure, Rob. They're calibrating everything a Euro. The brakes, the steering, the throttle response. It's a crucial part of laying down the groundwork for a successful practice session.
Megasaurus 55 has a best lap time of 2:16.999. Sunoiler crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 2:27.710. They're getting to grips with Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Mate, these drivers aren't just burning rubber for the fun of it. They're chasing the ghost, that perfect lap that's always just out of reach.
Absolutely. Back in my racing days, I used to call it chasing the dragon. It's that feeling when you know there's still a little more in the tank, a fraction of a second to be found.
There's the first flying lap for Joerg U, hitting 2:33.249. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Wayne Pearson posted a 2:38.831 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Puppy Dog from Hell is getting to grips with the Maserati 250F 12-cylinder in this practice session. Alright, Reinhold Gartner has put down a 2:31.972. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that Maserati 250F 12-cylinder.
For sure, Rob. It's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
Supraman has a best lap time of 2:15.224. Sunoiler's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 2:20.835. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Richard Rossier's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 2:23.452. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Let's talk rubber. Tire pressures ain't just about pumping them up and hitting the road. It's like a fine art.
Couldn't have said it better. Tire pressures can dramatically impact the contact patch, the actual bit of tire touching the tarmac. Too high and you lose temperature and grip, too low, and you risk overheating, uneven wear or even a blowout. Each tire will have its own sweet spot where they grip best.
Ever heard the pit crew chat about wheel camber? Sounds like a dance move, but trust me, it's all car talk.
Haha, yeah, camber is the angle of the wheel relative to the road. A bit of negative camber, where the top of the tire leans inwards, can give more grip in the corners. But too much and you're looking at premature wear on the inside of the tire. It's a balancing act, and each track requires its own setting.
With just 209 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Lars is out there, taking it slow and steady on the outlap. This lap is like the calm before the storm, a moment of zen before pushing the limits.
That's right. It's about understanding the track's personality today a Euro. Each day, each lap can tell a different story, especially at a track like Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit.
There's the first flying lap for Reinhold Gartner, hitting 28.542. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Pip posted 6:06.987 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Megasaurus 55 has a best lap time of 2:16.999. EddieG's on the outlap, getting a taste of the tarmac. It's like sniffing the cork before a good wine. First impressions matter.
Exactly. They're assessing the grip, the balance, the whole shebang. You can learn a lot in these quiet moments before the throttle really opens up.
Mate, sometimes I reckon the pit wall looks like they're controlling a spaceship with all those dials and knobs.
You're not wrong. Each of those adjustments, from brake bias to differential settings, has a profound effect on car behavior. It's like tuning a guitar, but instead of strings, you're tweaking mechanical symphonies to get the car singing just right on the track.
There are just over 205 minutes left in this practice session. Simon Barnes is on their first practice flying lap. Joerg U posted a 2:49.785 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Maybe today Satan is not hanging about, straight into the thick of it on this first flying lap. They're getting a real taste of the Maserati 250F 12 cylinders capabilities.
Absolutely. It's about understanding the limits early on. You'll see them experimenting with braking points and turn-in speeds, all while keeping an eye on those tire temps.
Let's get this qualifying session underway here at Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit.
Let's see who's got the speed and the skills to take the pole position.
Maybe today Satan is on their out lap.
It's all about finding that balance between staying calm and focused, while also pushing the limits.
Impressive display by jackmteam, currently sitting in position 2. They've set a competitive time. jackmteam has completed their out lap. A tough qualifying session for Pib. They're currently mired in 15th position, which is a setback for their ambitions. However, they have the resilience and determination to learn from their mistakes and fight back in the race. It hasn't been the best qualifying session for EddieG so far. They find themselves in 11th position, which is not where they had hoped to be. However, there's still time left on the clock, and they have the opportunity to make improvements.
You're absolutely right, Rob. EddieG might be disappointed with their current position, but there's still time to make a difference. They'll need to remain composed, analyze the data, and push themselves to the limit to improve their qualifying result. A challenging session for Joerg U so far. They're currently in 13th position, which is not where they wanted to be. But in motorsport, we've seen remarkable comebacks, and they'll be hoping to turn their fortunes around and secure a better result. Not the ideal. Megasaurus 55 has completed their out lap.
Megasaurus 55 has completed their outlap. Supraman has positioned themselves well in 10th during qualifying. Supraman has completed their outlap. Incredible drive by Richard Rossier so far, earning Richard Rossier has completed their outlap. Currently in third, jackmteam has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies in whether they can convert this performance into a higher grid position.
Great analysis, Rob. jackmteam has shown excellent pace to secure third. Now, the focus shifts to whether they can use their track position to their advantage in the race.
What a performance from Supraman. They currently occupy second on the grid. Can they maintain this strong position and secure a favorable starting spot?
You're spot on, Rob. Supraman's current position of second is a testament to their skills and determination. Now, they face the challenge of maintaining their position against hungry rivals.
Supraman has completed their outlap. Impressive work from Richard Rossier, who has claimed fourth on the grid. Richard Rossier has just completed a lap in 19.228. Let's see if they can improve on the time further. And there goes Toni Blues, currently in position 8. Toni Blues has just completed that lap in 20.695. Their best lap so far is 20.695, putting them in P5. Will they be able to hold on to that spot? EddieG has put in a great effort and currently holds 10th. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position?
You're absolutely right, Rob.
EddieG has completed their first flying lap in 2:24.458. It's been a struggle for Mr. Bang in qualifying. As of now, they find themselves in 13th position, which is well below their expectations. However, motorsport is unpredictable, and there's still an opportunity for them to shine and move up the grid.
I share your thoughts, Rob. Mr. Bang is facing a setback in this qualifying session, but they have the resilience to bounce back. They need to stay positive, work closely with their engineers, and find the optimal strategy to make progress.
Mr. Bang has just completed a lap in 26.870. Let's see if they can improve on the time further. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Supraman has just completed that lap in 2:15.848. Their best lap so far is 2:15.848, putting them in P2. Will they be able to hold on to that spot? There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Maybe today Satan has completed their outlap. Sunoiler has secured a respectable 6th in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race? But Sunoiler has completed their first flying lap in 2:19.936. A disappointing performance from Dylann Fransz so far in this qualifying session. Finding themselves in 15th position is certainly not what they were aiming for. However, they have the talent and experience to bounce back and salvage a better result. Dylann Fransz has completed their outlap. A solid qualifying performance by jackmteam, positioning them in 3rd at the moment. The question now is whether they can make further progress and challenge the frontrunners.
Absolutely, Rob. jackmteam has put in a remarkable effort to secure 3rd. The competition is fierce, and they'll need to stay focused to defend their position.
Looks like jackmteam is making a statement, securing a spot in 3rd.
Yep, Rob, but there's always room for improvement. Smooth, consistent laps might just be the key to climbing even higher before this session wraps up. It may be difficult for them to improve further on that. Sometimes trying too hard makes you slower. They need to drive smooth and smart.
A solid performance from Sunoiler as they currently hold position 6. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid.
I completely agree, Rob. Sunoiler has positioned themselves impressively in 6th. However, it's crucial for them to keep pushing to potentially improve their starting position.
Seems like Sunoiler's struggling to find the sweet spot with their Maserati 250 F12 cylinder. Sitting in 6th with a time of 2:16.653, they might want to consider adjusting the suspension setup for better handling.
Yeah, tuning the suspension could improve cornering stability, Rob. It's all about finding that balance between agility and stability on a technical track like this.
A strong showing from Reinhold 99 as they currently sit in 8th. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep, with Reinhold 99 clocking at 2:21.401. They've got themselves a mountain to climb, stuck in 8th.
They're not out of the fight yet, Rob, but it's going to take some serious wheel work to make up that gap. The clock's ticking, and they need to make every lap count from here on out.
There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. Pearson has completed their outlap. It's an impressive showing by Sunoiler, currently in 3rd. They've showcased their talent, but will they be able to find those crucial extra tenths of a second to climb higher? Incredible drive by eric.wolfs so far, earning him 8th on the grid. However, the competition is fierce. Will they be able to find that extra edge to move up? eric.wolfs' last lap at 2:20.292 has them languishing in 7th. Time's slipping away, and they need to find some magic on the track.
Absolutely, Rob. It's crunch time, and they've got to push that Maserati 250 F12 cylinder beyond its limits if they want to claw back into the top 5.
It's been a challenging session for Dylann Fransz. They're currently languishing in 12th position, which is not where they had envisioned themselves. But in motorsport, anything can happen, and with their skill and determination, they might still turn things around.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Dylann Fransz is facing a tough challenge, but they are known for their fighting spirit. This qualifying session is a test of their character.
Looks like Dylann Fransz needs to put the pedal to the metal. That last lap times landed them in 10th, not where they'd want to be, especially with the session ticking away.
True, Rob. It's all about incremental gains. Every tenth of a second counts, and they've got to squeeze every bit of performance out of that Maserati 250 F12 cylinder.
A tough qualifying session for Reinhold Gartner. They're currently mired in 13th position, which is a setback for their ambitions. However, they have the resilience and determination to learn from their mistakes and fight back in the race. A tough outing for Mr. Bang in qualifying today. They currently sit in 14th position, which is far from ideal. However, there's a chance for them to regroup, analyze their data, and make some adjustments to their setup to improve their result.
Absolutely, Rob. Mr. Bang is facing a challenging situation, but they have the skill and determination to turn things around. It's not over until the checkered flag, and they still have a chance to improve their result.
A challenging session for Wayne Pearson so far. They're currently in 20th position, which is not where they wanted to be. But in motorsport, we've seen Wayne Pearson has completed their outlap. Disappointing performance from EddieG in this qualifying session. Currently in 12th position, they'll need to dig deep and find some extra speed to climb up the leaderboard and secure a better starting position for the race.
You're spot on, Rob. EddieG has had a tough time in this qualifying session, but they shouldn't be counted out just yet. With their experience and the support of their team, they might find the extra speed needed to move up the grid.
It's been a struggle for Dylann Fransz in qualifying. As of now, they find themselves in 11th position, which is well below their expectations. However, motorsport is unpredictable, and there's still an opportunity for them to shine and move up the grid. Dylann Fransz's clocking in at 2:21.087 isn't turning heads just yet. They're holding on to 8th, but with time running out, it's now or never.
They've got the skill, Rob, but they need to translate that into lap times. It's time to throw caution to the wind and go all out.
Not the ideal start for EddieG in this qualifying session. Currently in 18th position, they'll be eager to put together a strong final lap to improve their standing. The pressure is on, and they'll need to deliver their best performance.
Well said, Rob. It's certainly not the result EddieG was aiming for, but this is motorsport, and anything can happen. They'll need to stay focused, trust in their abilities, and seize any chance that comes their way to improve their position.
It's been a challenging session for Wayne Pearson. They're currently languishing in 21st position, which is not where they had envisioned themselves. But in motorsport, anything can happen, and with their skill and determination, they might still turn things around. A tough qualifying session for EddieG. They're currently mired in 18th position, which is a setback for their ambition. EddieG has completed their outlap. It hasn't been the best qualifying session for Wayne Pearson so far. They find themselves in 21st position, which is not where they had hoped to be. However, there's still time left on the clock, and they have the opportunity to make improvements.
You're absolutely right, Rob. Wayne Pearson is currently facing a challenging situation, but they have the skills and experience to tackle it head-on. They'll need to stay focused, trust in their abilities, and push themselves to the limit to turn things around.
A challenging session for Reinhold U so far. They're currently in 18th position, which is not where they wanted to be. But in motorsport, we've seen remarkable comebacks, and they'll be hoping to turn their fortunes around and secure a better result.
You're absolutely right, Rob. Reinhold might be disappointed with their current position, but there's still time to make a difference. They'll need to remain composed, analyze the data, and push themselves to the limit to improve their qualifying result.
Reinhold 99 has positioned themselves well in 9th during qualifying. The challenge now is to assess their competitors and strategize how to move up the order for a better race start.
Spot-on analysis, Rob. Reinhold 99 has positioned themselves well in 9th. It's now crucial for them to maintain their focus and defend their position in the upcoming race.
A disappointing performance from Wayne Pearson so far in this qualifying session. Finding themselves in 12th position is certainly not what they were aiming for. However, they have the talent and experience to bounce back and salvage a better result. It's been a struggle for Wayne Pearson in qualifying. As of now, they find themselves in 12th position, which is well below their expectations. However, motorsport is unpredictable, and there's still an opportunity for them to shine and move up the grid.
Absolutely, Rob. Wayne Pearson is aware of the current situation, and they'll be looking to make the most of the remaining time. They'll need to analyze their performance, work closely with their team, and find that extra bit of speed to improve their qualifying position.
There's a little bit of wind in the air today here at Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit, as we're getting ready to kick things off.
The drivers are looking focused out there on the grid. I'm excited for this one, Rob.
Supraman is on pole.
But they can't afford to get complacent. They will have a target on their back now.
We see Megasaurus 55 sitting in the second spot.
Megasaurus 55 will be taking no prisoners today.
Starting from the third position on the grid, we have Sunoiler. Sitting in fourth, it's jackmteam.
It's like they're on the outside looking in. Can they make their way to the front of the pack?
Holding strong in fifth place is Rossier.
A strong grid position, and they'll be expecting a solid result today.
As the engines roar to life, Toni Blues prepares to take off from the sixth position on the starting grid.
Lining up in the mid-pack.
eric.wolfs is lining up seventh.
Dylann Fransz isn't going to make it easy to get through the pack.
Dylann Fransz will be looking to gain ground quickly as they start from 8th on the grid. Lining up in 9th is EddieG.
Starting on the standards tires.
Maybe today Satan is 10th. Starting from 11th on the grid is not ideal for Joerg U, but they're a fighter. Starting from 12th on the grid is a bit of a mixed bag for EddieG. Simon Barnes has qualified 13th.
They're a fighter, and they won't give up until they've crossed the finish line.
It's a green light and this race is officially underway. Today marks a special occasion though as our drivers head out. Today on this first slow parade lap we are just going to take a moment to pay homage to one of our own. Today we come together to mark the passing of our dear friend Soks, real name Lars Young, who has sadly and suddenly run his last race.
Indeed, Rob, you never know when it's going to be your last lap, and Les will be greatly missed not only as an ACF driver, but as a friend, and I know that everyone in the club feels the same way about this amazing gentleman. Les, wherever you are, may you rest in peace, and we hope you enjoy the race.
Dingoes and didgeridoos, Reinhold Gartner is showing Singapore what they've got, making every second of these 59 minutes count. That's the spirit, mate.
A fantastic start there indeed, but the first lap can be very scrappy. Let's hope they can hold onto that place.
Looks like Megasaurus 55 remembered to twist that anti-roll bar, giving him better cornering. If they get any closer to Supraman, they'll be seeing what they had for brekkie. It's a steady race for Dylann Fransz so far. They haven't made any mistakes, and they are maintaining their focus.
Exactly, it's like playing chess at 200 miles per hour. Dylann Fransz is thinking several moves ahead, and it might just pay off.
You ever wonder, Rob, how much preparation goes into each race weekend? It's not just about the driver, but the hundreds behind the scenes, making every little detail count.
Oh, absolutely. The hours spent in the simulator, the mechanics working overnight on those tweaks. Racing is as much about team spirit and dedication as it is about speed on the track. It's a collective masterpiece.
We got a close battle as Megasaurus 55 closes in on Supraman. No room for error here. Maybe today Satan is breathing down the neck of EddieG, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move.
If maybe today Satan pushes too hard, they might find themselves exploring the scenic route, and nobody's got time for sightseeing during a race.
The gap between Megasaurus 55 and Supraman is razor thin as they vie for first in this nail-biting contest.
Now, that's some driving, y'all. Megasaurus 55 is putting the pressure on Supraman. It's like watching a cat stalk a bird. They're inching closer with every turn.
Puppy Dog from Hell seems to be putting the pressure on Mr. Bang.
To achieve anything in this game, you must be prepared to dabble in the boundary of disaster.
It's a tale of two drivers right now, with Puppy Dog from Hell gaining places and Mr. Bang losing them.
Absolutely wrong, but there's still a long way to go in this race, and Puppy Dog from Hell can't afford to get complacent. They have to keep driving with intensity and focus. Someone shook the board?
Seems so. Puppy Dog from Hell's taken a slide, but knowing them, it's just a part of the dance.
Racing's like good old southern barbecue. Slow and steady. Maybe Puppy Dog from Hell is just marinating a bit before the big sizzle.
Creaky, Dylann Fransz is sticking to Eric. Wolf's like Vegemite on toast. This is more tense than a possum in headlights.
Shoot, Rob, you ever seen a hound chase a rabbit? That's Dylann Fransz for y'all, trying to close in on Eric. Wolf's with every twist and turn of Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit.
Toni Blues is on a mission, chasing Richard Rossier, who's desperately trying to stay ahead.
The mental game is just as important here. Toni Blues must keep their cool while putting pressure on Richard Rossier.
It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. Struth, if Megasaurus 55 gets any closer to Supraman, they'll be asking to share a meat pie. Watch them duel it out at Thomson Mile. This is a thrilling moment in the race, with Richard Rossier in fifth defending their position with everything they've got. But Toni Blues is relentless, and the gap is less than 0.2 seconds. It's anyone's position at this point. This is going to be a nail-biter. Eric, Wolfs is defending for their life, but Dylann Fransz is right there. Can they do it? Megasaurus 55 wants to find a way round Supraman.
They need to keep it on the black stuff. You don't get points for driving over weeds, not in this game.
It's tighter than a wallaby in a pouch out there.
I'll try and translate this, and on this side of the pond, it's closer than a hot dog in a bun.
Oh, things are getting intense for Smells Like Weed. They're sandwiched between Puppy Dog from Hell and Mr. Bang, navigating this high-speed battleground. The gap to the car ahead is 0.2 seconds, while the car behind is only 0.2 seconds away.
You're absolutely right, Rob. The gaps to the cars ahead and behind act as a measuring stick for Smells Like Weed's performance. They'll have to keep a close eye on those gaps to stay in control of their race.
Now, this is a challenging position for Smells Like Weed, stuck between a rock and a hard place, with Puppy Dog from Hell closing in 0.2 seconds behind and Mr. Bang just ahead with a gap of 0.2 seconds. Blimey, Mr. Bang's more eager to catch Pip than a bloke at the bar at last call. Hope he's got the stamina for this chase. It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while.
Oi, Rob, wouldn't want to be in Puppy Dog from Hell's shoes right now, would y'all? Talk about a pressure cooker situation.
Pip wants to close that gap with Mr. Bang. Wow, Sunoiler is really pushing it. They're coming up fast, Dylann Fransz, and there's no way they can make the turn.
Absolutely right, Rob. And let's not forget Sunoiler has already had a few close calls this race. They need to start driving smarter if they want to finish at all.
In the grand chessboard of racing, Sunoiler appears to have just been checked. Now stationed at 17th. Struth, Sunoiler's taken a bit of a tumble down the order to 18th. Must have missed the memo. Tell ya what, Sunoiler's defending harder than a roux with the last Tim Tam. Smells like we's gonna have to pull something special out of the bag. By the looks of it, Smells Like We in 19th is keen to throw another shrimp on the barbie and crank up the heat on Pip. Hold on to your stubbies. The tension is palpable. These drivers are showing tremendous respect for each other while going all out. It's a masterclass in clean, hard racing. It's a thrilling pursuit as maybe today Satan is right behind EddieG, keeping the pressure on for 8th place.
Can they close up enough for a pass? I don't see it personally.
It's like David versus Goliath out there. Maybe today Satan just slung a stone and gained ground, while EddieG is left searching for footing. Renault 99 has the pedal to the metal chasing Wayne Pearson.
There is no room for error in this battle.
It's a game of inches now as Smells Like We tails Simon Barnes closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake.
It's a battle for position as Smells Like We tries to make a move on Simon Barnes. This is what racing is all about.
It's a close race between Sunoiler and Mr. Bang in 15th.
A misjudgment by either driver could result in a close encounter of the tire barrier kind, and that's one handshake they'll want to avoid.
Someone's revved up after lunch. Sunoiler's blitzed ahead, claiming 15th.
Well, slap my knee and call it a jamboree. Sunoiler's putting on a masterclass, storming into 15th.
It looks like Smells Like We is all over Simon Barnes. I think they are gonna press him through the snakes one and try and press for a mistake.
For sure, Rob, that's exactly what I would be doing here, as Simon Barnes is gonna be aware of them riding their bumper.
Alright, lads and ladies, it's crunch time. Maybe today Satan is sniffing around Dylann Fransz like a dog with a bone. And it looks like they might just take a bite out of 7.
It's going to be a close one. Maybe today Satan will have to push hard to create an opportunity.
The action is non-stop as Sunoiler hold up a mo. Looks like Joerg U tried the old dingo stole my race line trick. A tad too clever by half. The adrenaline is pumping as Sunoiler gets within striking distance of Reinhold Gartner in their race for 13th.
That's right, Rob. The pressure is palpable. The fans are on the edge of their seats, waiting to see who will come out on top in this epic showdown.
Pip could be looking for a way up the inside of Simon Barnes. Hold on a second, stone the crows. Smells like we's off in the bush again. Someone get him a map and compass.
Yeehaw, Smells Like We decided to do a little off-roading. Wrong event, partner.
Hold on to your hats. Maybe today Satan is gunning for Dylann Fransz. Reckon we might see some cheeky moves on the next bend?
Rob, last time I saw Maybe Today Satan this riled up, there were sparks flying off the...
Hold on a moment, that won't be ideal for Maybe Today Satan. Hold on to your stubbies. Pip is closing in on Simon Barnes like a bachelor at the end of a buck's night. Hope Simon Barnes either brought some lube or protection. It's pedal to the metal for Pip, while Simon Barnes is still flipping through the radio channels. It's a brilliant day for racing here at Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit. I'm really enjoying this.
This race is truly epic. What a treat to be sat here witnessing this spectacle.
Blimey, Mr. Bang's determination reminds me of a kangaroo in a hopping contest.
Well, over here in the States, it's more like a squirrel chasing down its last nut before winter. Either way, it's entertaining to watch. With just 0.5 seconds between them, will Mr. Bang be able to keep up the pace and make a pass?
Things are heating up as Sunoiler closes in on Maybe Today Satan. The gap between them is down to practically nothing. Oh, mate, that's how I used to drive after a couple of bevies at the pub. Not the right line, but definitely entertaining. Looks like EddieG is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curbs aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about finding the right balance between speed and control. The gap between them is just over 0.4 seconds. Can EddieG close that gap and get back in range? I can't see it happening at this point.
The gap between Lars in 13th and Maybe Today Satan remains over a second, but Lars is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap up. Can they pull it back in the remaining 47 minutes? Stone the crows. Lars has pulled a sneaky, landing at 15th. Always a surprise with them.
It's a nuanced game, isn't it? Lars's position change might very well be a part of a broader strategy.
Disappointing for Lars, they now find themselves in 16th. The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this.
As a former driver, I can tell you there's nothing quite like the adrenaline rush when you're this close to your rival, ready to make your move.
Whoa there, Eric.Wolfs is sticking to Toni Blues like glue. You reckon Toni Blues is feeling the pressure? 'Cause I sure would.
If things go wrong between EddieG and Toni Blues, they could be exchanging more than just paint, like maybe a strongly worded post-race chat.
Seems like Reinhold Gartner is getting in range of Mr. Bang. As they speed through Thomson Mile, Simon Barnes is relentlessly pursuing Lars in a high-stakes battle for position. Geez, Richard Rossier has got their work cut out for them. It's a tougher challenge than wrestling a croc after a bad day.
Like trying to rope a bull with spaghetti. Ain't gonna be easy.
Richard Rossier and jackmteam have a gap between them that's growing like Jack's beanstalk. We're talking 7.6 seconds now. Oh, talk about a tango on tarmac. Wayne Pearson is dancing closer and closer to Dylann Fransz. You can feel the tension as they approach turn 10.
Remember that time Wayne Pearson?
Hold on a second. Oi. EddieG tried to pull a Steve Irwin and wrestle with the track limits. Track 1, EddieG 0.
I swear, EddieG's acting like they found Elvis off track. Spoiler. The king ain't there.
If cars could sweat, Renault 99's rear view would be a bloody waterfall right now. Close racing this.
EddieG is certainly pushing all they can, but the gap might just be too much. Unless Renault 99 makes a mistake, it looks like they'll hold on to 9.
The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown?
The chase between Lars and Pip is like a high-speed game of tag only. The stakes are much higher.
Superb driving from Lars, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race. You can feel the tension in the air.
The drivers are all focused, putting everything on the line for a chance at victory, pushing themselves and their machines to the limit.
Incident alert. Blimey, Toni Blues must have spotted a pub off the track. That's the only reason any self-respecting Aussie would swerve that way. Anyone who says that Assetto Corsa Friends is not the best racing club on the planet is clearly insane. The quality of driving we're seeing out there on the track is absolutely phenomenal.
I couldn't agree more. It's like these drivers were born to race. They're weaving in and out of traffic, taking corners at unbelievable speeds, and making it all look effortless. It's clear.
Hold on a moment. Oi.
Is it just me or?
Nah, mate, Pip really just took the scenic route through the outback of Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit. Crikey. Things are getting spicy as Sunoiler is breathing down EddieG's neck. The gap? Mate, you couldn't slide a credit card between them.
Hot diggity. Sunoiler's on EddieG's tail tighter than bark on a tree. As they zoom into the snake's tooth, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Stone the crows. Sunoiler's on fire, surging ahead like there's a free round at the pub waiting. Hello, 10th. Sunoiler just blitzed past EddieG like they were standing still. Dylann Fransz is running 10th. They are trying to catch Sunoiler.
As we say in North Carolina, if the porch light's on, someone's home. And Dylann Fransz is making it known. He's right there, waiting to make his move on Sunoiler.
Everyone's on the edge of their seats. Or breaking news, folks. Looks like Wayne Pearson's playing in the dirt. Took me back to when I tried rallying in my mum's old sedan. Good times. Expensive repairs. Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed. Well, don't come the raw prawn. Sunoiler's giving it some stick, pulling Renault 99 into a mere 0.1 seconds.
This is where the race gets really exciting. Both drivers will be pushing to the limit to gain the advantage.
A great moment for Sunoiler, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings. With steely determination and laser focus, Dylann Fransz is homing in on Renault 99. The battle lines are drawn.
I've seen molasses move faster than this. Just kidding. But Dylann Fransz is surely making Renault 99 feel the heat. It's a southern summer showdown out here.
Who needs speed dating when you've got Megasaurus 55 chasing down Supraman this eagerly? Move over Tinder, this is how you swipe right at 100 miles per hour.
It's like watching a hawk circling its prey, waiting for the right moment to swoop.
With the asphalt burning beneath them, Superman's strategy seems to be working, placing them in first.
Absolutely, and they need to keep driving with determination to stay in that position.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Sunoiler is right on the heels of Reinhold 99, and we're in for a wild ride. Bloody hell, Sunoiler's tearing up the tarmac and just snatched 7th. Makes you want to crack a cold one in celebration. As we enjoy seeing these titans of the track battle it out, let's not forget about the pit crews. Those guys and girls are like a well-oiled machine themselves.
Absolutely, they're the unsung heroes of the racing world. But you know what they say, behind every great driver is an even greater pit crew.
Good on ya, Pit. Not letting Simon Barnes get too comfy up front. Reckon he's planning a bit of a "g'day mate" on the next corner?
One important aspect here is choosing the right braking points. Pit needs to be precise to avoid overshooting and losing valuable time.
Stop the press. Oh dear, Chris Ilduke has had an incident.
Feels like Chris Ilduke's car turned into a stubborn mule for a second there at Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit.
Hollywood couldn't script this better. Reinhold 99's shadowing Sunoiler, waiting for the slightest misstep. The engines roar, the tires squeal, and amidst all this chaos, Joerg U is making a statement in 14th. Mate, Joerg U's stuck at the barbie waiting for their snag, and Chris Ilduke's already onto dessert.
Kinda like when the pie's out of the oven but you're still kneading the dough. Joerg U's gotta catch up. Now ain't that a hoot and a holler? Joerg U's gotta rev up their engine and get back in the groove, while Chris Ilduke's riding the wave and showing some serious grit.
So, when you were racing, ever have to do the old nature call dash during a red flag?
Haha, you mean a pit stop for the driver and not the car? Once or twice, you learn to time your drinks, and hope for a long caution doesn't always work out though.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Lars, who is currently in P15. But Chris Ilduke is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Lars.
Yeehaw, it's like Lars took a detour through the drive-thru. With a gap that big, I hope they ordered extra determination with a side of grit.
Oi, Lars has just whipped out a blinder of a lap. Faster than Chris Ilduke. Bet that's gonna ruffle some feathers. The race is really heating up. Megasaurus 55 is hunting down Supraman with everything they've got. It's an intense battle for position as Lars tries to outmaneuver Chris Ilduke. This is edge of your seat racing. It's looking good for Lars, who has gained places and put some distance between themselves and Chris Ilduke.
Talk about turbocharged ambition. Lars has got the afterburners on full blast today.
The gap between Lars and Chris Ilduke is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Lars to bring Chris Ilduke into play. This is what racing is all about, folks. Three fearless drivers pushing their machines to the absolute limit, inches apart.
Absolutely, Rob. The slipstream plays a crucial role in these battles. The drivers are using every trick in the book to gain an advantage while constantly evaluating when to make their move.
As fast as a cut snake, Pip is moving away from Puppy Dog from Hell.
Seems like Pip has got the wind in their sails, but will Puppy Dog from Hell be able to weather the storm? You hit the nail on the head, Rob. They've got to keep their eyes on the prize and not let ego steer them off the track.
So, Hal, considering the high speeds and split-second decision-making involved in racing, what's the impact of even a minor lapse in concentration?
A minor lapse in concentration can have significant consequences, Rob. It could lead to an off-track excursion, a loss of position, or even a collision. That's why it's crucial for drivers.
Wait, well, Renault 99 spinning like my life in 2020. Someone get him a map? Or a therapist? Things are going according to plan for Puppy Dog from Hell, who is currently 20th. Oh, it seems Hal that Puppy Dog from Hell has seen their lead over Wayne Pearson shrink to 10.9 seconds.
That's a worrying sign for Puppy Dog from Hell.
How do racing drivers, like yourself back in the day, Hal, train themselves to maintain concentration for long periods of time?
Mental training is a huge part of a driver's preparation, Rob. Techniques like meditation, visualization.
Breaking update, Mr. Bang's duffed it up. They're gonna need more than a coldie to forget that one.
Seems like Mr. Bang's off-roading it. You know, like my attempts to adult. All over the place.
Mate, Lars is right up Reinhold Gartner's chuff. As they zip through Devil's Bend, we're all expecting some fireworks.
Lars is so close to Reinhold Gartner that if this were a dance floor, they'd be doing the tango.
Fantastic move from Lars, who has just gained a position. Coming into Thomson Mile, the fight for 6th is heating up. Who will be the first to blink? The gap between Toni Blues and Sunoiler is widening. It's now up to 0.8 seconds. Puppy Dog from Hell wants to get into Wayne Pearson's slipstream.
I might have said this before, but dog, bone, you know the rest.
By the looks of it, Supraman's got incident alert. By the looks of it, Megasaurus 55 reckoned Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit had a hidden shortcut. Too bad there isn't one. The tension is building as EddieG trails behind Dylann Fransz. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Can Dylann Fransz hold on, or will EddieG be able to close them down? EddieG is trying their best, but can't seem to find the pace to keep up with Dylann Fransz at the moment. 3 cars, 3 different lines. They're jockeying for position, looking for any opportunity to make a move.
I'm on the edge of my seat, Rob. The door-to-door action is exhilarating. The bravery required to go side by side like that is something only the best drivers possess.
Every race has its highs and lows. Today, Mr. Bang acquaints themselves with a new perspective at 13.
Sucks to be them, Rob.
The strategy plays such a crucial role, doesn't it? Choosing when to pit, what tyre compound to use. It's like a high-speed chess game out there.
Exactly, and to think they're making these decisions on the fly, with so many variables at play. It's a mix of intuition, experience, and sheer guts. Kudos to the team's strategists and drivers alike.
Buckle up, Wayne Pearson is all over Pip like a cheap suit. Are we about to see some wheel-to-wheel action?
At this rate, Wayne Pearson and Pip are so close, they could share a cup of tea and a biscuit.
A great pass for Wayne Pearson as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Pip had hold the thought, hold the phone. Well, crikey, Dylann Fransz has taken a detour, just like I did when I tried to change my car's oil. Ended up with a flooded garage. This is what racing is all about. 2 fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit. Watching the drivers handle their cars is like watching a crop handler at a wildlife show. There's a finesse to it. But one wrong move, and you're in a world of hurt.
Oh, for sure. It's like trying to rope a bull in a rodeo. It looks easy from the stands, but up close, it's all about skill, timing, and knowing when it's about to let go.
Every move counts now as EddieG works to reel in Dylann Fransz and overtake the P8. It's not coming up roses for EddieG. They're trailing Dylann Fransz and the gap's on the rise. They don't seem to have a response. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight. It's a battle of wills out there, each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other.
Should things go awry, Lars and Mr. Bang might find themselves giving a whole new meaning to the term tandem drifting, though I doubt they'd enjoy it as much as the spectators.
This is what it's all about, folks. EddieG is in hot pursuit of Dylann Fransz, who's just trying to stay ahead.
With EddieG on the hunt, Dylann Fransz better not blink. Every split second counts in this tango.
The intensity is off the charts as Lars hounds Mr. Bang, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit.
That's right, Lars is determined to pass Mr. Bang and secure a higher position.
The crowd is on its feet as EddieG chases down Lars through the Snake's Fall. Now that's how it's done. EddieG rips through the track, while Lars watches the taillights fade.
Well, it's not just about speed, it's about strategy. But right now, EddieG's showing a masterclass in both.
Tough break for EddieG, who has just lost a position. Oh, the chase is on. Lars is breathing down the neck of Mr. Bang. A strong showing from Supraman, who is currently first.
Definitely, but they can't get too comfortable. There are plenty of other drivers who are gunning for that position, and Supraman has to keep pushing to stay on the pace.
It's all about consistency for EddieG, who is currently 8th. If Simon Barnes goes any slower, they'll join me in my failed dreams collection. Front row seats available. Alright, hold your horses. Lars is really putting the heat on Mr. Bang. If I were Mr. Bang, I'd be checking those mirrors non-stop.
I remember being in a similar situation during my racing days. Lars must stay focused and wait for the perfect opportunity to overtake.
And Lars has just won the place from Mr. Bang. What a move. Lars has moved up to 12th. If racing were a dance, maybe today Satan would be trying to lead, but Renault 99 just keeps cutting in. The dance floor is heating up. From where we're sitting, Simon Barnes seems unmovable from that 17th.
And just like in any great drama, Simon Barnes is the lead actor right now, captivating us all from the 17th.
Simon Barnes is losing time to Wayne Pearson like a leaky tap dripping water. A bit more slip, and we'll be in for a real dogfight. It's as if EddieG is navigating the vast, cryptic verses of Banjo Patterson, aiming for a poetic conclusion but caught in the mesmerizing cadence.
Down here, it's like they're trying to strum a ballad with an out-of-tune banjo, but the last note can still ring true. EddieG might be leading the parade now, but remember, the dance ain't over till the last fiddle plays. Still plenty of racetrack left for surprises.
The best laid plans of mice and men hal, but it's certainly not going to plan for EddieG right now as they are struggling to keep up with EddieG. It's a great day, and the tarmac's heating up, and these tyres are getting a proper workout.
Speaking of which, tire management is such an underrated skill. Knowing when to push hard and when to conserve, it's like a strategic dance out there on the asphalt.
In a world where milliseconds matter, Megasaurus 55's grasp on the fifth speaks volumes.
Spot on, Rob. Still waters run deep, and even if it looks calm now, Megasaurus 55 needs to maintain that razor-sharp edge.
Megasaurus 55s ripping it up out there, going harder than a roo on a trampoline and leaving eric.wolfs in their wake. Mate, Toni Blues has got a stretcher head that's longer than the Nullarbor. Going to need more than a tinny to bridge that expanse.
It's like fishing without bait right now. They're not gonna catch much at this rate.
Hal, what's the impact of tire degradation on race strategy? How does it affect the driver's approach to the race?
Tire degradation plays a crucial role in race strategy, Rob. Teams and drivers have to consider the optimal time to pit for fresh tires and adjust their race pace to balance speed with tire conservation. It adds another
braking development. Blimey, Richard Rossier's just thrown another shrimp on the barbie of mishaps. This one's burned.
Lord have mercy. Richard Rossier must have seen a ghost or thought they spotted Bigfoot. That was one wild turn.
Looks like maybe today's Satan's strategy might just be to let the rest of them die of old age. It's a waiting game now.
Speaking of rhythm, have you heard Renopa 99's favorite song? Maybe today's Satan can play it to distract them and close that gap. Just a thought.
Maybe today's Satan is on a charge. Their split time shows they have upped their pace. Watching Smells Like We try to close that gap on Pip is like watching someone try to catch an ice cream truck on foot. Hope they've got good shoes. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Lars is proper nipping at Reinhold Gartner's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell. I reckon they've had a few secret lessons down under. Lars has just breezed into 11th.
That kind of move? That's what happens when you mix horsepower with a dash of southern charm.
They're going side by side, door handle to door handle. This is as close as it gets, folks. Who will have the courage to outbrake the others?
Absolutely thrilling, Rob. The level of car control these drivers possess is exceptional. They're towing the line between maximum speed and maintaining control, making for a captivating spectacle.
The track tells a tale of speed, strategy, and skill. Today, it narrates Megasaurus 55's journey in 5th.
They say racing's a game of nerves, and Megasaurus 55's surely holding theirs, keeping that 5th spot warm.
Hold your breath, folks. These drivers are showing exceptional car control, threading the needle through tight corners. It's a battle for supremacy.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. The proximity of these cars is incredible. The precision and trust these drivers have in each other is truly remarkable.
An impressive showing from Wayne Pearson, who has gained positions and left Simon Barnes in the dust.
Go, 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 that's what we want to see.
The echo of the exhausts, the rubber meeting road, and there's Mr. Bang, commanding the 13th. Excellent work from Mr. Bang, who has managed to increase their lead over EddieG. They seem to have found their rhythm and they are grooving to it. But with every smooth turn, comes the risk of wrecking their car. Who will be the first to push it too far and crash out of the race?
That's right, Rob. These drivers are like musicians, finding their groove and playing their instruments to perfection. But just like in music, even the best players can hit a wrong note. Let's hope none of these drivers make any mistakes and end up singing the blues.
The way these cars grip the track is incredible. It's all about downforce. They're stuck to it like a piece of gum to the bottom of a school desk.
Now that's an analogy I get. But why's your gum always under the desks?
Blimey, Pip is farther back than my hairline. But you know what they say about Aussies? Never say die. Unless it's a spider. Then just run.
Good lord. At this rate, Pip's gonna finish this race in the afterlife. Hope they got good insurance.
Not just about the leaders today, right? Even the tailenders. They're like hungry dingo pups fighting over a bone. Love the spirit.
Spot on. Every second is gold, and even a hiccup, a tiny one, can make them tumble. Assetto Corsa, friends. Where the magic happens. Although, between us, what's a hiccup for an AI?
Lars is burning rubber like there's no tomorrow. Reinhold Gartner needs to show some ticker if they want to close that gap.
Well, Rob, as we say in North Carolina, the race ain't over till the checkered flag. Let's see if Reinhold Gartner has some tricks up their sleeve.
Geez, EddieG's on Mr. Bang's tail like a dunny door in a thunderstorm. But passing? That's another kettle of fish. From the cockpit to the pit lane, the chatter is all about maybe today Satan's masterful hold on the ninth.
You nailed it. The track is a battleground, and maybe today Satan's position is their fortress. Let's see how long they hold the fort.
Heartbreak for maybe today Satan as they slip down the field. It's a battle of wills out there, with Joerg U trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Reinhold 99. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Will we see a dramatic finish to this race? Well, that's an unexpected descent. Joerg U finds themselves repositioned at 16th. Incident alert. It looks like Dylann Fransz has been called into the pits. You'd think eric.wolfs is trying to find water in the outback with that gap. A miracle, or Megasaurus 55's blunder, might be the only savior.
I reckon it's like looking for a needle in a haystack right now.
These engines aren't just wait, Dylann Fransz is in the pits. Tell ya what, Reinhold 99 is trailing like my mate Dave after a bender. Hope there's no random testing today.
My mama used to say, you can't shine if you don't try. Guess Reinhold 99 missed that lesson. Just like my pie making class.
Tyre degradation's a right pain in the ass, but Reinhold 99's handling it like a champ. Getting real up close and personal with Toni Blues, aren't they?
He'll be looking for a mistake to pounce on.
During your racing career, Hal, did you have any specific techniques to regain concentration if you felt it slipping?
Yes, Rob, I had a few techniques. One was to take a couple of deep breaths and briefly reset my focus. Another was to use a specific keyword or phrase as a
Incident alert, Mr. Bang has pulled into the pits. The battle for 11 is heating up as Dylann Fransz tries to catch Reinhold Gartner in P11.
The gap between them is just over 0.7 seconds. Who will have the speed and skill to come out on top?
From the stop the press, Mr. Bang is pitting. This isn't just racing, it's a duel. Watch as Dylann Fransz zeroes in on Reinhold Gartner, blade sharpened and ready. Big gains for Dylann Fransz as they move up the field, leaving Reinhold Gartner behind. A setback for Dylann Fransz, who has just been passed. You know, Dylann Fransz, if you were any slower, you'd be going backwards. But good on ya for making Reinhold Gartner work for it. We've seen overtakes, close calls, and pure racing genius today. Currently, jackmteam has carved out a spot at second.
Yes, and in this high-octane opera, jackmteam's voice resonates the loudest from that second.
Oh no, Hal, look at this. Sunoiler is closing in on jackmteam. The gap is now just 13.1 seconds.
Jackmteam's in a real pickle here. They've got to find the extra pace to hold off Sunoiler if they're aiming to be the top dog here.
Let's talk about tyre degradation. Hal, how does it affect the car's handling and what do drivers need to do to adapt to the changing conditions?
Tire degradation can significantly impact handling, Rob. As the tires wear, the grip reduces, and drivers need to adjust their braking points, cornering speeds, and throttle application to maintain control of the car.
jackmteam isn't just racing. They're weaving a narrative, sitting proudly in second.
Couldn't agree more. Every lap is a story, and right now, jackmteam's chapter from second is riveting.
Oh mate, EddieG's more out of place than a vegan at a Bunnings sausage sizzle. Time to throw another gear on the barbie.
It's moments like these that make motorsports so exciting. We're witnessing a battle of skill and strategy between two great drivers, with EddieG in 13th determined to catch up. But we know Reinhold Gartner isn't just going to hand it to them on a plate. EddieG is going to have to take it. It should be an interesting battle to watch as long as they can close that gap.
Looks like Wayne Pearson is chasing Chris Ilduke harder than a croc chasing a tourist who's lost their thongs. It's a bit of a long shot, but we all remember that one time at the pub, right?
Hoo boy, Wayne Pearson needs to kick it into high gear. Right now, they're slower than molasses in January or my cousin Earl trying to solve a crossword.
The gap between Wayne Pearson and Chris Ilduke is growing. It's now up to 29.9 seconds. The age-old challenge. Toni Blues is trying to catch EddieG, sort of like trying to find a matching sock in the laundry. The struggle is real, folks.
Oh, for sure. It's like watching a cooking show where Toni Blues is trying to whip up a winning dish, but EddieG keeps hiding the main ingredient.
I've made some questionable life decisions, but trailing over 2 seconds behind. Even I'm not that self-sabotaging.
Dang, Richard Rossier is so far back, he might start seeing last week's race. But hey, in racing, as in love, persistence is key. Right, y'all?
A solid performance from EddieG, who is holding down 11th.
Indeed, but in the fast lane, there's no time to relax. EddieG's grip on 11th will be tested.
He's pulling away. EddieG is increasing the gap to Dylann Fransz. It looks like Dylann Fransz needs to dig deep and find some courage to catch up. Will they be able to take the risk and push their car to the limit?
That's right, Rob, it's time for Dylann Fransz to show us what they're made of. Will they be brave enough to go for it, or will they be content with just following in the footsteps of EddieG? Let's see who's got the guts to take the lead. EddieG's doing just what they need to, like a dog that's found a bone.
Dylann Fransz is in there like a rat up a drain pipe. How? EddieG is not going to be happy about that. Reinhold 99's drifting so far back, it's like looking in the mirror after a decade-long pub binge. Time's not been kind, mate.
I've seen funeral processions move faster than Reinhold 99 right now. Come to think of it, at least they've got a destination in mind.
Wow, Joerg U is really pushing hard to catch up. Hold up a mo. Well, if it isn't Simon Barnes, the wild wallaby of the track, hopping right off the tarmac. Gee whiz, Joerg U is breathing down Chris Ilduke's neck. Wouldn't want to be in Chris Ilduke's rearview mirror right now. It's getting crowded. It's not going to plan for Joerg U. They are still behind Chris Ilduke and the gap is increasing. I don't think they have an answer for this right now. The track conditions are looking good here today. The drivers will be able to push the cars to the limit and it's going to make for some exciting racing. No room for error here. Puppy Dog from Hell is breathing down the neck of Pip, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move. Incredible, Puppy Dog from Hell is caught in a fierce battle, with Eric Thomas breathing down their neck 0.1 seconds away, and Pip just ahead with a gap of 0.2 seconds. It's a test of their racing skills.
I'm on the same page, Rob. The gaps to the cars ahead and behind provide valuable context to understand the challenges faced by Puppy Dog from Hell. It's a constant juggling act, and they need to seize the right moment to gain an advantage.
As rubber meets road, and strategy meets luck, Supraman is etching their story in first. Looks like Reinhold Gartner is testing the off-road capabilities of their ride.
I reckon Reinhold Gartner thought they were panning for gold off the track there. Sorry, buddy, that's not how you strike it rich.
You reckon Reinhold 99's got a shot, mate?
I'd say it's like trying to throw a football into a moving pickup truck from 50 yards. Tough, but not impossible. Will Reinhold 99 be able to make a move and pass Toni Blues?
There's a storm brewing, and it's got Joerg U's name on it. Chris Ilduke, batten down the hatches, it's coming for you. A brilliant maneuver from Joerg U, who has just moved up the field.
Y'all ever see a hot rod at a country fair? Joerg U's giving me those vibes right now with that ascent.
In a race where seconds count, Chris Ilduke is counting on less of them between themselves and Joerg U. Much like I'm counting on less seconds until lunchtime. Things are looking as crook as Rookwood for Chris Ilduke, lagging behind Joerg U and the gap stretching out like a long country road. They'll need to find some extra grunt to flip this situation. I love being here at Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit. What an awesome place to be witnessing these titans of the track battle it out.
Indeed, Rob, what a magnificent sight and sound. I love listening to the roar of these engines. Let's just listen for a moment.
Oi, Sunoiler is on jackmteam like a drop bear on an unsuspecting tourist.
Drop bear? Had to Google that one. But yeah, here it's like a linebacker on a quarterback sack. Each roar of the engine, each squeal of the tire is a chapter in this epic duel. Who'll pen the perfect ending?
Stone the crows. Sunoilers managed to trim that gap with jackmteam, eh? Must be the slipstream effect on this straight. Or maybe they've put down that beer.
Well, butter my butt and call me a biscuit. Sunoilers using that draft from jackmteam real effectively, shaving off tenths every lap.
You know, racing is all about strategy. It's like choosing between a sausage sizzle and a meat pie.
Sausage? Sizzle? Why not just grab a burger and call it a day? But I get your point.
Braking development. Oof, eric.wolfs misjudged that corner like I misjudged my last relationship. Too fast, too soon. This race has turned into a game of cat and mouse. Sunoiler is the predator, with jackmteam firmly in their sights.
Now, ain't that something? Sunoiler's car is humming like a sweet Carolina tune. He's looking to take jackmteam for a spin around the dance floor at Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit.
As the sun beats down and the engines roar, maybe today's Satan stakes a claim in 8th.
Oh, for sure. But remember, the rearview mirror can be just as crucial as the windscreen. Maybe today's Satan needs to watch out for those lurking in the shadows.
Oh dear, maybe today's Satan has dropped down to 9th.
Well, slap my knee and call it a dance. Maybe today's Satan's taken a lil sidestep there.
It's like watching a cheetah chase its prey. Sunoiler's got jackmteam in their crosshairs. Blimey, Sunoiler's cranking up the downforce, making every newton of force count. That gap's shrinking faster than my wallet at the pub. Tell me, mate, ever tried doing a burnout in a ute? It's bloody bonza.
A ute? You guys and your funny names. That's just a pickup, right? Trust me, I've burned more rubber than you've had shrimp on the Barbie.
If I had $1 for every time Reinhold 99 closed a gap like this, I'd have enough for a pint at the local. Get ready, Toni Blues, the thunder from down under is coming.
Every twist, every turn, it's like a tango at 200 miles per hour. Who'll take the lead?
Joerg U's more lost out there than I was after a night at the Gold Coast. And at least I woke up with a kebab in hand. You reckon Sunoiler saw a spider in the cockpit? 'Cause they're running away from the front like it's Huntsman Central. The crowd is on tenterhooks as Reinhold 99 in 7th chases after eric.wolfs. The gap is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Can Reinhold 99 find a way to catch up? Reinhold 99 and eric.wolfs have a gap between them that's growing like Jack's beanstalk. We're talking 15.9 seconds now. This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion and claim victory?
You can feel the intensity in the air. The slightest mistake could cost either of them the race.
I tell you what, Joerg U has got more problems than a maths book right now. EddieG is leaving them in a cloud of dust. Good on ya, Reinhold 99. Trailing so far back, reckon the front pack has already written the eulogy. The gap might be more than a second, but Wayne Pearson is showing persistence. Kind of like me trying to open a pickle jar. Keep at it, and something's got to give.
Gee whiz. Wayne Pearson is so far back, I'm half expecting to see tumbleweeds blow past. Maybe a vulture or two.
Here's the thing about racing, sometimes, it's not just about speed. It's about pressure, mind games, and this, right here, is a masterclass from Sunoiler. Sticking so close to the leader, making him constantly aware of the imminent threat.
Spot on. It's like a shark circling its prey. The leader knows it, we know it, and by the looks of it, Sunoiler is ready for the kill.
Struth, if Supraman gets any closer to Lars, they'll be asking to share a meat pie. Watch them duel it out at the snake's fall. Well, I'd raise a toast to that move. Cheers to Supraman for nabbing 8.
That's what we like to see. Supraman is really showing their class today.
Remember when we thought Supraman had peaked? Think again, they're harnessing every bit of down. Hold up a mo. Looks like that's a mistake from Supraman. This could be costly.
Well, shoot, Supraman's channeling me trying to park in the city. A complete disaster, but always a show.
Whoa, Megasaurus 55's on fire, leaving skid marks and jackmteam's hopes behind.
Someone better check if Megasaurus 55's been drinking those energy drinks, as it seems like they got wings. Did we just witness a gambit?
It seems Megasaurus 55 is recalibrating, now at 3rd. The pursuit is on. Megasaurus 55 is closing the gap on jackmteam, determined to claim P2.
The tension between Megasaurus 55 and jackmteam is palpable as they battle for P2. No doubt, both drivers know that one mistake could cost them the position. It's a test of nerves as much as skill.
As Pip trails puppy dog from hell, it's a bit reminiscent of my cat. Sorry to cut in here. It looks like Dylann Fransz has been called into the pits. It's the classic cat and mouse game, but instead of cheese, the prize is a racing position. Can Megasaurus 55 steal it from jackmteam? Stop the press. Dylann Fransz has decided to pit. Blimey, Megasaurus 55's gunning it in 3rd. Just a whisker behind jackmteam. Hope he's got his budgie smugglers on, cause things are about to get wet and wild. Fair dinkum, Megasaurus 55's finding those aerodynamic sweet spots. Could be adjusting that front wing angle to cut through the air like a hot knife through butter. On a lighter note, if I could eat, I'd kill for some of the trackside snacks right about now.
Oh, absolutely. But you know, my digestion is a real mess.
Is that what the smell is? This is edge of the seat stuff. Megasaurus 55 is relentlessly hunting down jackmteam. Who'll blink first?
They say pressure makes diamonds. Well, Megasaurus 55's shining bright, closing in with every heartbeat.
Megasaurus 55 is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to jackmteam to 0.1 seconds. It would seem Lars is starting to get a bit frustrated here at being held up by Supraman. It seems like Megasaurus 55 is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace. Incident alert. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line.
Whoops, Sunoiler is going to be kicking themselves.
Ladies and gents, we've got ourselves a high-speed pursuit. EddieG is stalking Joerg U's every move.
The gap is 0.9 seconds now. EddieG is going to have to work a bit harder to close that gap with Joerg U.
Breaking update. I don't think that's the fastest way around Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit. It's all systems go for Simon Barnes, marking their territory into 17th. Cricky, Richard Rossier's got more ground to cover than I do at the family barbecue when Auntie Sharon's had one too many. Good luck, mate.
Y'all remember the tortoise and the hare? Well, Richard Rossier's neither. More like a snail with commitment issues.
Oof, if Joerg U was a kangaroo, they'd be roadkill by now. Come on, mate, put some pep in that step. Joerg U is trying their best, but can't seem to find the pace to keep up with EddieG at the moment. We got a close battle as Supraman closes in on Reinhold 99.
This is what makes motor racing so exciting. The tension is high and the stakes are even higher. Who will take home the victory? It's too close to call.
Crikey, Supraman's moving up faster than a cold one disappears on a hot day. They've clinched 7th.
Absolutely. Supraman is really putting on a clinic out there, and they're making it look easy.
It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with EddieG trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on EddieG. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts. Can EddieG close in enough to mount a challenge?
Indeed, the tension is palpable as EddieG tries to reel in EddieG. But EddieG is not making it easy, maintaining a consistent pace. Can EddieG find some extra pace to bring the fight to EddieG?
On the final lap now, and Sunoiler looks like they might just wrap up this win.
It takes a special kind of driver to perform under pressure like this. Sunoiler has certainly risen to the occasion.
And that, folks, is how it's done. A solid performance and great win from Sunoiler. Tenth is maybe today's Satan. jackmteam takes second place with a fantastic race.
Intense race, but jackmteam held their nerve and earned a great second place.
Well done to Megasaurus 55 for securing third place on the podium. In 15th, it's EddieG. Simon Barnes in 17th. Puppy Dog from Hell brings home 20th. With Richard Rossier in 4th. Finishing 16th is Joerg U. Dylann Fransz end in 11th. Coming in 12th we have Reinhold Gartner. Taking 19th is Smells Like We. Fifth sees Toni Blues. EddieG, Wolfs take 6th. Pip in 21st. Mr. Bang brings home 18th. With Supraman in 7th. Followed by Renault 99 in 8th. EddieG end in 13th. Wayne Pearson claimed 14th. In 9th, it's Lars.